I thought that we would have a little look-see at this article, guys, because first of all, well, one, it's actually quite funny. Two, the guy who wrote it, he seems to be the type of person who, because someone he voted for didn't get in, he wants to throw all his toys out of the pram. And I saw Luke Stevens, he said it the best actually about this guy, is when this guy is invited to a party, everyone sighs when he walks in. I thought that was actually a very, very good analogy for this guy. And that is mostly just coming off of this article and a few others he has done. But as you can see, hear me out, what if James Bond just shouldn't be in video games? 00 no, not you. I played a good few hours of 007 First Light last week, and I encourage you to click that link and read all about what I thought of them. So first of all, with that article, he actually goes in and he complains that 007 First Light is not a Hitman game. It's not Hitman. It's 007. It's James Bond. It's a action stealth shoot 'em up. It's not meant to be a sandbox, well, semi-sandbox Hitman type where you just go in, you can talk to people, kill someone and get out. Don't get me wrong. If they wanted to, they could have just literally taken Hitman and just put a Bond skin on him. But when you got a game where, with Hitman, story doesn't really have to be front and center. As long as someone who you're going after and their story or the reason why you're going after them is great, perfect. That's all you need. But for a James Bond video game, like a lot of other big video games, story needs to be key. It needs to be the anchor. It needs to be the thing that brings everything together in the video game. And it's actually really interesting because over on that article, which is it this one here? It's got a little look-see. Some of the comments and content on this is just absolutely bizarre. Like as you can see by here, IO's weaknesses are on display in a way they haven't been since Hitman Absolution. Which I actually think Hitman Absolution was actually a very good game. It's actually a fun one. As you can see, it goes on that the first game he ever did this, Hitman, yeah, I've been excited about IO's Bond since the reveal, so when I got a chance, I was first in line. And as we can see, because it's literally not Hitman, he goes on and just like, oh my god, why? Why is this? And if you go down to the comments, which are actually really, really funny, because he has a go in this article, which I will leave the link below, where he has a go at, why is James Bond quipping? It's James Bond. You know, it's James Bond. This is exactly what he does. And it's so interesting to see that when you have something like this, where the trailers and everything else makes this game look really good, and I am one for it because I can't wait to play it, but you know, what's wrong with you? Breaking. Video game journalist plays non-Hitman game, discovers it's not a Hitman game. You got someone there. Absolution was a perfectly okay action game, not a good Hitman game, but on his own merits, yeah. And 007 being very linear, relatively popular, it is. It's, as you can see by here, this is probably the best one. This game has been getting very positive previews everywhere else. Literally, I'd probably say 99.5% of everyone who played this game last week enjoyed it and loved it. There's just this one guy, because as you see by there, this author specifically hates Bond because of political reasons, so they wrote this negative preview for it. Look at his newest article, and the newest article is the one that we're actually reading here. And what he goes on about as well, GoldenEye, N64 version GoldenEye now, not the James Bond with Daniel Craig remake they did, but GoldenEye 64 is one of the greatest video games ever. And to be honest with you, it is in the top 10 video games of all time. It really is. And look what he says about it. You're not really James Bond. You're a hand with a pistol in it. Sometimes in cutscenes you got Pierce Brosnan's face. What? It's almost like this guy, just because he probably doesn't like the James Bond movies, he's like, this game, oh, it's gonna be Hitman, though, I'll play it. Because supposedly he's got several hundred hours on Hitman, which, to be honest with you, those are rookie numbers, mate. You gotta pump those numbers up, you know? They are absolutely rookie numbers. But yes, with this guy, it's like, come on, what the hell are you on about? And it's the way he goes on, you know, but games that try to make you feel like James Bond, that put you in his actual shoes and attempts to embody him as a character, they fall down. Has this guy not played Agent Under Fire? Has he not played Nightfire? Has he not played From Russia with Love on the PS2? Brilliant games. They are all so much fun. And he says, they're not very good video games. But also, I think the very nature of Bond is that he is a creature of cinema. He just doesn't quite fit into games. Now, as we saw with those comments on the past one about he's bringing in political views, all this by here. He's annoying. This might scan differently to non-Brits or indeed to anyone who doesn't share my particular brand of class psychosis, but James Bond is an insufferable public school dickhead. He's a rowing club Tory boy through and through, and he comports himself like a man who has a right to the earth and everybody on it. To be honest with you, the guy who wrote this article, he seems to be very degrading of himself for one, and he thinks that, oh, just because he's Bond, he can do what he wants. Dude, it's a video game. It's a character. Come on. But yeah, it's when you see like that, and the rest of the article is actually like it as well. You know, it's quite fun for a 90 to 120 minute of a movie, where he is surrounded by numerous other people who can roll their eyes at him whenever he opens his mouth. You can just see that this guy just does not like the character. And to be honest with you, if you don't like the character, why the hell would you go and play the video game? You've made it pretty clear that, you know, you thought you were going to play Hitman, even though the trailers and everything we've seen regarding this game, it shows a little bit of Hitman, but not more, because, again, it's a James Bond game. It's not a Hitman. It's not Agent 47. You are not the bald assassin going around trying to do things sneakily. You're not going around trying to poison someone by putting rat poison in air ducts. You're not doing that. This is literally, you are playing 007 James Bond. You are going on a mission as Bond. But, yeah. It goes on as well, saying that in a video game for 10, 20, 30, 40 hours? Less so. And especially less so in something like A First Light, where a lot of his cocky one-liners and general swagger are delivered to empty rooms and enemy corpses where no one save the player can tell him to give it a damn rest. But also, part of his charismatic arrogance is that he is suave and unflappable. Well, great. Good for him. I am not suave, and I flap at the slightest inconvenience. Yeah, like we said, this is the kind of guy, to be honest with you, where if you see certain things and say someone is not right for the job, but they have an aspect to them which got them that job, he would be like, oh, I don't care if they're messing up, they deserve that job. He's that type of person. You know what I'm trying to say there. And when he just keeps going on as well, saying that I simply don't fit into him. Should probably reword that. Whenever I, as Bond, fumble a counter, miss a shot, or try to duck into cover, only to fling myself headfirst into a desk lamp, I break the entire spell of the character. To me, that kind of is a you problem, because saying this here, that when you fumble a counter, you miss a shot, as a lot of people would say, that's a skill issue. That's a you issue. That's no one else's fault but yours. Joshua, or whatever your name is, you seem to have a skill issue that, for a video game journalist, you seem to be really bad at video games. Maybe you should go and write for something else, you know, just a heads up for that. And you say, you know, I'm not singling out First Light for this, it's just the Bond game I played most recently, and if anything, does a good job realizing him as a character. It's just that, again, maybe that character should not be a video game character. This makes no sense. I'm not singling out First Light for this, it's just the Bond game I played most recently. If anything does a good job, or it does a good job realizing him as a character, it's just that the character should not be a video game character. Make up your mind. Make up your mind, bud. One moment in particular in my time with First Light made me think this. 007 is doing a righteous battle with a villain. Normal thing for 007 to do. During the fight, he grabs a teacup from the sideboard and drives a hand into his opponent's face. At this point, he says something which I did not write down because I was in the middle of fighting a guy, so my recollection may be fuzzy. But I believe James Bond 007 on His Majesty's Secret Service said something along the lines of, "Time for tea." Obviously, this guy absolutely hates James Bond because, and to be honest with you, with him saying that there, it's like, why would he say this? Have you actually seen the James Bond movies? Because the ones before Daniel Craig, they were quipping all the way through. They were quipping left, right, and center. Overall, though, this guy, this Joshua dude, I don't think he should be a games journalist. He really shouldn't. Because, again, okay, you don't like the character and everything else, but you seem to not like the game because of a political issue, not because the game is bad. That is the only thing which everyone is actually getting, even from the comments, which I showed you on the other article. This guy just seems he wants to go out there. He's like, that's it. He's not part of my political agenda, so I'm just going to go out there and say the game's bad, and he's bad. I wonder if this was a Hitman game, if he would be different. I really do think so. But yeah, that's what we got by there, guys. Let us know what you think about this down below. I have left a link to both articles if you want to give them a thorough read through, because, well, give them a read because they're actually quite funny, and like we just saw, he contradicts himself so many times. But guys, let us know. As always, my name is Dan. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.